So I just completed Heavy Rain. My thoughts, first of all, on who the killer was, I was right. Almost all along through the whole game, I was right. I followed the clues, you know, and then this last batch of clues, it was like unforgivable. There's no way you could tell that it wasn't Scott Shelby. I mean, the killer, when you saw him killing Paco, looked just like his build. You know, everything just fit. So that's cool. I like that because, you know, in the reviews, like I said at the very beginning of this, they said in the reviews, if you follow the clues, you should be able to figure it out, and I was actually able to figure it out, so that's pretty cool. There are some plot holes, like, how the fuck did he kill Manfred? Because there was, on screen, they never showed him leaving the room. They always showed him standing right there next to Lauren, and then all of a sudden, oh, Manfred's dead. What the fuck? That he never left the room, so how did he do that? I'm sure there's a couple other plot holes in there too, but besides, you know, I'm not really going to nitpick. My final verdict is I really like this game, and, yes, there are some game bugs, like you saw, a lot of audio bugs, which I think are due because this game uses DTS audio, which is, like I said in one of my videos, it's a higher quality audio. It's a lot larger file size, so to compress it and to run it through your speakers probably takes a lot more to do. And probably there's more potential for fuck-ups, as you saw, which is what happened a lot in the game. And also, there were a couple game bugs with controls when I was in that corridor with the glass. I couldn't turn left and right. I was fucking doing it, and nothing would happen. Same thing when I was trying to cross the street when Miriam, I still don't remember her fucking name. I don't give a shit. Fucking Myrtle fuck was helping Ethan across the street. And, you know, because he was all fucked up, I couldn't turn left and right. I was like, literally, just think of it this way. In any other game, you're running. And when you're running, you push left or right to change direction while you're running. But not in this game. Oh no, we're going to reinvent the fucking rules of control. You have to hold the button, and when you want to turn, let go of the run button, turn slowly to the right like you're fucking playing Resident Evil 1, and then push the walk button again. It doesn't make any sense. So that's why I had to redo that part a couple times, because the controls kind of sucked a couple places. And then as you saw, there was that one bugged part in the nightclub where I had to reload the thing 4 times and then restart my PlayStation 3 to get it to work. But it's nothing game-breaking. You were able to restart, which is excellent. Autosaves, excellent. I liked how everything tied in. Even the endings, the unique endings that you get for the things that you've done in the game are awesome. I like that. A lot of people say, oh, I don't want to get this game because it's not a game, it's just a movie with a bunch of QuickTime events. Well, I'm sorry, but for me, I think that a game, the essence of a game is something that's interactive and entertaining. This is the difference between a movie and a game, is that a movie is not interactive at all. It's entertaining, it's a story, but it's not interactive. A game is interactive, and therefore, I really like this. I definitely say this is a game, especially because depending on the choices you make, you completely change the outcomes, so you can replay it again and get a different outcome. It's a game. It's so interactive. That's the core of what this is. Obviously, you know, a lot of people say I hate QuickTime events. I'm going to be honest with you, I do hate QuickTime events. I play games like God of War. I play games like, one of the most viewed videos ever on my channel is from Spider-Man Web of Shadows from like 2 years ago. I played the game mostly when I was fucking drunk out of my mind because it was one of the first video series I ever put on YouTube and I was just fucking around. But you'll see if I do the final boss sequence of that game, it's cheap as hell. Every time there's a QuickTime event, you're like, oh, press it doesn't count. You're like, what do you mean it doesn't count? How fast do I have to fucking press these buttons? At least in Heavy Rain, it gives you some leniency. It understands you're probably not a fucking pro at QuickTime events. You haven't been doing it your whole life. You're sitting there practicing to memorize the motions. It gives you some leniency in your motions. And even if you do fuck up a couple times, it doesn't just kill you instantly. You still have a chance to come back if you get the next couple, you know, correct. So that's what I really like about the game. The plot is one of the best plots I've ever had in a game. It was so realistic, like hyper-realistic. The graphics, everything, the atmosphere, the music was amazing. The score really fit in a dramatic type of, you know, epic mystery thriller, crime drama style movie. Really enjoyed the music. I have to say, unless something really like fucking earth-shattering happens this year, this game has to be in my top 10 best games of the year, and it's probably going to make top 5, if not top 3. I don't know what's going to top this. Now, don't get me wrong, there might be something that totally blows me out of the water later this year. There's a lot of new things that are being announced, like Dead Space 2 and other stuff that are going to be probably crammed in for the end of the year. Who knows what's actually going to be released this year. But right now, this game is a front runner. In fact, this game, I'm going to admit right now, out of the games I've played this year, this is my favorite game so far. So, if you've been on the fence about this, I'm going to tell you right now, I think this game is worth a buy. Because I only played it once, and it was what, 8 to 10 hours of gameplay there, and I'm interested in maybe playing it again. Am I going to necessarily play it on YouTube again? Probably not, because it would take too fucking long, as you know. And there's a lot of other games coming out that I want to get to, but this is the kind of game I'm going to hang on to it. There's DLC coming out. Everyone's saying that the DLC card that I showed you in the unboxing video isn't good till March 4th. It was supposed to be good on launch day, but they pushed it back a couple weeks. I'm definitely going to be checking that out on March 4th. So undoubtedly, you know, this is a game worth buying, worth playing over and over. It's unique in what it is. Everyone would seem to be entertained just by watching me play it. Well, imagine when you play it, how much fun you'll have trying out different options and things. And some of the stuff in there is pretty funny, too. Some of the fight scenes, the choreographed, you know, like he picks up a big fucking lead pipe and just whacks him in the face, or when Miriam grabs the fucking drill and drills the doctor's heart. It's awesome. That's fucking awesome. It's just like a really nicely choreographed movie. So that's it. I really like Heavy Rain. I thought it was a really good game. I thought it was the perfect length. It's not too long where it drags on so fucking far that, you know, you get bored and you really don't care anymore. At the same time, it has enough twists. I'd say probably around the middle of the game is some of the best parts, because you really start to see clues flying left and right, and you can't, oh man, who could it be? Who could the killer be? In fact, at the end there's a little teaser that there might be a sequel. I would love for there to be a sequel. I would definitely buy that game too. As long as they follow suit with the, you know, it's the same kind of a thing. It's more about the story and a little bit of gameplay mixed in, rather than all about the gameplay, which most of these games are these days. It's just all gameplay and a little crappy story on the side. This game was so focused on the story, it was like watching an excellent movie or reading a long crime drama book, but you also had interaction in it, which I think was perfect, a perfect mix. So for me, this game is going to get a really high score. I'm not going to give it an official score. I don't know if I'll ever, you know, give it an official score, because it's a good game. As you know, usually I only do hateful truths on games that I don't like, or games that aren't apparently good, or people are on the fence about. This game, I'm sold. This game's amazing. So very good game. I recommend everyone goes out and tries it. If you're watching this video the week of release of the game, which I'm sure a lot of people are, just to let you know, the next game I'll be playing is Battlefield Bad Company 2. It's going to start on Tuesday when the game is released. I don't know if I'm going to try multiplayer first or the campaign. As you know, that game's really based around multiplayer. The first one was based around multiplayer. So I might actually just do multiplayer during the weekend, and maybe on the weekend when I have some more time, do some campaign. But anyway, that is next week. I probably won't have any videos up between now and then, unless I have an interesting idea of something that people have been asking me about. It's going to be a video that I'm going to put up on my alternate channel, The King of Hate HD. And I don't want to say too much about it now, but because I don't want to promise something. But there's a chance there might be some videos up this weekend, and you might be extremely interested in it, especially if you see what I do here with my videos and you've ever had questions about it. So look out for that. It might or might not happen. Eventually I will do it, but if I have some time this weekend, especially if I'm not playing any games, I might have time to do it. So I'm DSP. I'll see you later. I hope you enjoyed Heavy Rain. I loved it. I think it's one of the best playthroughs. And by the way, there was no doubt in my mind that Ethan was going to save his son, because did you see the size of his fucking cock at the beginning of the game? I mean, a guy with a cock that fucking big, there's no way that he couldn't save his son. I mean, you knew he was going to go through any kind of obstacle to save that kid. So I was glad that there was a happy ending. So that's it. I'll see you later. And you see the size of those buns, too?